Good morning, my friends. It is Monday, June 8th, and today we are starting the Golden Girls Marathon. So exciting. I just a few days ago found out about this, and I was like, yes, I need to be on a team. And I put a poll out on my Instagram to see which of the Golden Girls my followers thought that I best embodied. And Dorothy won, which I'm okay with that. She was the English teacher who was pretty opinionated, which I feel like I'm not opinionated, like way less than a lot of people on on YouTube right now. but but she's also pretty sassy. She doesn't take anything from anybody, which I have gotten way better at being like that over the years. so, um, so I'm happy with the choice of Dorothy. So one of the prompts for Dorothy's team, actually two of the prompts, is to read a classic and to read a book that is over 400 pages. So for that, I already had on my TBR North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell. I've read this before. It's a reread for me, but I have a book club coming up on Sunday, and I've got to get this reread. So I am going to probably listen to a good chunk of this on audiobook today while I'm working. And then, but I also want to try to annotate it. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of both. So, because I want to have things to actually discuss at my book club, right? Yeah, so that's going to be my plan, I think, for today, because I also have some other buddy reads that I need to kind of finish up. One being Return of the King. I need to finish that up today because I think I'm a little bit behind in our schedule, but I'm almost done with it. And then I need to read my sections of Caroline, and then, which I don't have an audiobook for, I only have the physical, so that takes me a little bit more time, and I'll probably have to wait till after work for that. So what we're doing today, or at least for the foreseeable future, is North and South. Okay? Okay. I will probably see you after work at this point. Good morning, friends. It is now Tuesday, June 9th at 7:50 in the morning. I'm getting ready to go into the office, but I just thought I would update you. I actually, most of my reading yesterday was not for the Golden Girls Readathon. I know. What am I even doing on this vlog? I finished Return of the King, which I was doing with a buddy read, and that was lovely. I honestly don't know if I have ever actually read through the entire Return of the King's book, and it's like the shortest one, so I don't know. Um, I may have just watched the movies and read excerpts for the class that I was taking because that class was intense and I probably didn't read everything I was supposed to. um, but yeah, I had forgotten all the stuff that happens after they destroy the ring. Like all the stuff in the Shire. Like if you haven't read Return of the King, you totally should because there's more that happens after the movie ends. So, anyway, and then I also, I'm continuing my read along of, or my read along, my buddy read of Caroline by Sarah Miller. And really, I'm too lazy to go get my actual physical books. They're across the room. And can I just say that I am thoroughly enjoying the actual buddy read that I am doing for this? Uh, Tara and Debbie and I are just loving life with this book and talking about it um and they obviously have way more remembrance of the actual book series than I do because they're bringing up stuff that I'm like, oh, I totally forgot that even happened in the book. books. So this is now making me want to go back and reread the book series. But anyway, that is not even part of my Golden Girls readathon stuff. I did start the my reread of North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell for the Golden Girls readathon, and that is for my Team Dorothy prompts of reading a classic and reading a book that is more than 400 pages. So, because I'm too lazy to go get the book. I I'm really enjoying this reread. I'm listening to the audiobook, but I've slowed it way down to where I wouldn't normally read at that speed or listen at that speed because I want to annotate this time. And I'm still working out my color coding system because I just kind of randomly started last night and was like, oh, I don't know what colors to use for different things. So, um, but I read about 5 chapters in that last night, and I kind of was like knitting and listening, and also like stopping knitting to put a tab in something whenever it sounded important. So, yeah, so I'm really enjoying this reread, and I feel like it's much it's like getting into my head more this time. So I think probably the first time I listened to it, I was just kind of listening to it and not really retaining it. So this has been really good to reread this one because I feel like I have much more of a grasp of Wives and Daughters than I do of North and South, and I feel like I need to really sit down and think about North and South more. So that's that. So I will catch up with you at a later time. And today, I should probably talk about today, huh? I want to start reading or listening to Sleepless in Manhattan, which is a romance read. That one was recommended by my friend Sarah over at Steeped in Books, and she said that that would, one, obviously, because it's set in Manhattan, would work for Dorothy's other prompt of set in New York City, because Dorothy was born in New York City, and I think, and pretty much lived there most of her life. Um, so yeah, I'm kind of excited for this. I will have to, while I'm at work, if I decide to listen to it, I will probably have to put in my headphones because, well, one, I'm at work, and two, there's some sexy times apparently, and I don't want to be caught off guard listening to sexy times at work. So, but yeah, we'll see how that goes, and I will let you know later tonight how much of that I get done today. Hello, friends. It is now Wednesday night. So on Tuesday, I think I updated you in the morning and said I was going to listen to Sleepless and in Manhattan, and I did not on Tuesday. But I honestly, on Tuesday, I didn't really listen or read anything except for my required required pages in Caroline for my buddy read. I don't know why. I wasn't in the mood, I guess. I don't know. But today I listened to the entirety of Sleepless in Manhattan by Sarah Morgan. And this is a romance novel, and it was really cute. I really liked it. Sarah from Steeped in Books had recommended it, and she said that there were some sexy times, and there were, but there were not that many. There were just a couple of scenes, and they weren't like, well, that's, I was going to say they weren't that graphic, but yeah, they probably were. But I didn't have to skip them. So, I mean, I guess it depends on your level of how graphic something is, but the story was really cute. It was basically a friends to lovers kind of a thing, and of course um, the the man has commitment problems, and the girl has always been in love with him, that kind of thing. So, but yeah, it was funny. It was, there wasn't a lot of, you know, language, which, you know, I appreciate, even though um, I I am not I'm not a saint when it comes to the language that comes out of my mouth usually. For some reason, I don't really like to read a lot of salty language, let's say, in books. I don't know why. It just kind of throws me when I'm reading it on a page or listening to it. Like, so that should tell me something about my language that maybe I should clean it up, I guess. I don't know. I'm having an existential talk through as I'm filming this. But anyway, I really enjoyed this one, and one of the characters in it, Frankie, who is a woman who believes that men cannot be trusted, is apparently going to be the center of the second book in this series. So I think I'm probably going to move on to that one because she sounds like me. So, um, so yeah, I think she would be a fun character to follow. And I mean, I'm sure in that book she's going to get a happy ending and realize that men can be trusted, blah, blah, blah. But I'm sure it will be lovely. So, but now I am going to sit down and read my sections of Caroline for today. And then I don't know, I'll have to pick another book to start for. Well, actually, I should also probably listen to North and South for both for the Golden Girls Readathon and for my book club on Sunday. Um, oh, and because I listened to Sleepless in Manhattan, but I checked the page numbers in Goodreads, and it was 464 pages. So that's pretty good. So Team Dorothy got 464 pages from me today. Yay! So let's see if I can finish anything else before the week is out. Okay, I will probably talk to you tomorrow, and I'll let you know if I read anything else this evening. Okay, bye. Hello, friends. It is Thursday, and I have just sat down to do some reading. So I am going to try to read through the entirety of, what is this, Christie and the Snobs. And this will fit my prompt for a book with friendship as a main theme. And I believe that is one of the common challenges for this. And it's also the book that is for the prompt of a book published between 1985 and 1992, I believe, the run of the Golden Girls show. This was published in 1988. So this is going to be my evening read, hopefully. And I mean, it's a Babysitter's Club book. I should be able to get it done tonight, hopefully. Unless I fall asleep, which is possible. Hello, friends. It is now Monday evening, and I was editing this vlog for the Golden Girls Readathon, and that last clip where I, kind of ran through everything that I got read for the Golden Girls Readathon, I just looked like I had been run over by a truck. Now, granted, the rest of the week I did not look great, but that last clip, ooh, baby, I did not want to put that on the internet. So, mostly because I was just, for some reason, dead tired on Sunday. And I ended up going to bed at 8:30. I don't know why. So, but anyway, I thought that I would just pop on here and kind of run through what I did get read for the readathon prompts. So, without further ado, let's go. Okay, so for the prompts of a book with female friendship as a theme, and a book that was published during the run of the show, The Golden Girls, which would have been 1985 to 1992, I believe. I read Christie and the Snobs, which is a Babysitter's Club book, and this was just really cute, and I have been trying to get through a stack of Babysitters Club books that I won in a giveaway last year, and I just kind of keep forgetting about them, but they're really easy reads, and there's not a whole lot to say about them. They're just nostalgic for me. So, and I actually, as I was reading this, I remember reading this book, so that was really fun, and I'm glad that I read it. For a book with gold on the cover, I actually changed what I decided to use for this prompt because originally I was going to choose Anne of Ingleside, which is a book that I'm reading for a read along this year anyway, but I didn't get to it until like Sunday night, and I only got about half of it read, so I didn't want to, really choose that one. But I did finish Caroline by Sarah Miller, and I had started this already before the readathon, so I'm not really sure if that will make it count, but I finished it Sunday afternoon. And I am choosing this for gold on the cover because there are golden sheaves of wheat on the cover. I know, it's stretching it a little bit, but hey, I'm going to go with it. So, Caroline was just a delightful read, and I think I talked about it enough in the rest of my vlog. But if you are a fan of the Little House on the Prairie TV series or the books from when you were a kid, this is just so great and nostalgic. And I think Sarah Miller really captured the personalities of all of the characters. And there are even some things that I was not aware that were actually historically accurate to what happened in Laura Ingalls Wilder's life at that time, that she changed for her actual book series, but Sarah Miller puts the real circumstance that happened in this book. So I thought that was really interesting, and this whole book has made me want to go back and reread Laura's series, and also to read some biographies on Laura Ingalls Wilder to just see to just have a better knowledge of what has changed over time. So I feel like I can use this for the prompt of Golden Girls, because I think I read over half of this during the readathon, so I'm gonna count it. I mean, there's no Golden Girls readathon police, right? Except for Rachel, of course. So she could tell me I can't count it if she wants. For the prompts that go with Team Dorothy, I didn't do as well for Team Dorothy as I thought I would. But for the prompt of a book set in New York City, I read Sleepless in Manhattan by Sarah Morgan, which was a romance, and it's the first in a series, I believe, that it was recommended to me by my friend Sarah at Steeped in Books. And I thought this was really cute, and I do actually want to move on, which is saying something because I'm not much of a romance reader, I mean, a contemporary romance reader. But this one I thought was really, really nice. I mean, it had some sexy times, but not a lot, and it didn't have a lot of like crude language or anything. So yeah, I really liked it. And so I think I will move on to the second book, because apparently that book focuses on one of my favorite characters in this one. So I'm interested in that. So I checked one off the list for Dorothy. And then also, that book was 464 pages. So I'm going to count that for a book over 400 pages because I was trying to get this classic done by the end of the readathon, but I didn't get it done. So I cannot I cannot fulfill the reading a classic for Dorothy. And I was also going to choose this for a book over 400 pages, but since I didn't get it done, obviously I can't count it. But when I was looking back through the other things, Sleepless in Manhattan was 464 pages. So even though I listened to it on audiobook, that still counts as a book with that many pages, right? And the only other prompt that I didn't even try for was, well, I was going to read The Zookeeper's Wife, but I didn't even touch that one. I just couldn't get to it. I couldn't try to read that many books, like big full length books, in a week. So I totally didn't even do that one on my TBR. So, but yeah, overall, I would say it was a very successful reading week. I started Anne of Ingleside, which would have counted as a classic too, but just didn't didn't get it finished over the weekend. I started and got halfway through North and South, which I'm still continuing with because I still want to reread that and annotate it. And I read some fun new books to me and had some nostalgic old ones. So I think that was a really successful readathon. And I will be more prepared next year for this readathon because I didn't know about it until like 3 days before it happened. So next year I will know that it's coming and be prepared. So anyway, I'm going to try to get this edited because I'm already starting my vlog for next week. So I got to get this up. All right, friends, I will talk to you next week. Bye.